Alrighty, Rue. Looks like we are live. It is Wednesday, the 15th of February. Boy, we had a heck of a day. Technical difficulties abound, and I'm trying to figure out if anyone can hear me. If you can't hear the audio, please let me know in the chat. But welcome to the 15th of February edition of the Crypto Flight Path. This is going to be a short one. I tried to do this almost 2 hours ago. My esteemed colleague, Josh, was not able to attend. And he's actually driving across Texas right now, where we're going to try and dial in on the phone using some Discord audio and whatnot. But that didn't really work out, and started working with some software changes on the old desktop computer here, or the laptop computer here, and it turned into a bit of a show. But that's okay. Managed to get this far. So what's different today is we're using desktop microphone, headphones, and what should be happening is you should be able to hear me, and I hope that is the case. But what we're going to just get into here in a minute is talk a little bit about the pretty interesting price action today in the crypto markets, and we'll talk a little bit about trades we got stopped out of. Market's just not ready to go lower, and it just reinforces, or will serve to reinforce, I should say, the necessity for having appropriately placed stop loss orders, so that you don't get wiped out, and that you're only ever losing your 1 unit of risk or your 2 units of risk, whatever you're willing to tolerate in those terms. But let's just get straight into some chart action here. I'm going to pull up the hero of the day, and here we are. Bitcoin USD, strong move from 22,000. We had basically the low on this was 22,050. So bounced, basically we had all this FUD. We had FOMC, we had Powell talking head, we had the SEC coming after Kraken, blah blah blah. Hey man, this could have definitely gone the other way if we had some other thing. What I'm actually, maybe I have PTSD, but what I'm looking for here to happen is, now that we've retraced this whole move back down from basically 24,000 to 21.5 ish, back to this support areas. What happens next? Be prepared for something interesting to come across the wire that will that could have the potential to throw a wet blanket on this. I'm not bearish. I'm just saying I've seen this dance a few times, and with a strategically placed news article, someone in the federal government, like Elizabeth Warren, comes out of the woodwork now. Last night found an article. She's reintroducing an anti-money laundering legislation that includes crypto, and I'm just really glad that didn't have too much of an effect. I think the news today, or I think the thing today, is that the retail sales numbers came out. The reaction to CPI was, muted at best, and while we were short a few things, we did get stopped on almost all of them, but we learned that basically we didn't get caught in any moves like this, short with no stop loss, waking up and watching this thing run away from us and losing half our account. So anyway, Bitcoin's back over 24,000 at the moment. Ethereum, interesting. We had drawn, if you look at the daily chart here, we saw this move come back down when this Kraken SEC thing came back down and consolidated and pulled back. And interesting, yesterday and the day before we talked about we wanted to see this come up and whether or not it got rejected at this lower wedge line here, and it stuck. But today we saw that that level get violated, and we're right back to where we were. Interestingly enough, we stopped right at the top edge. Look, I don't make the rules, I just draw the lines, and here we are at this 1680, get on Twitter, you can find all kinds of charts, people talking about the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 times. This is the 5th time that we're up in the 1680s, 1670, 1680 range. Our previous thesis got invalidated. We were looking for it to roll over. We positioned for that. In the case that it did, it's just not ready to go lower. It was ready to go higher. So now, what are we looking at here? What I'm looking at is that if we pop through here and get a nice strong move and start to test this for support, it'll validate the continuation that the market wants to go higher. I think that's probably what happens, but hey, I've been wrong 1,000 times before. So that's Bitcoin. Looking at APT Aptos, definitely got stopped. We watched it pull back and kind of collect here. We basically sold the low back here. Didn't get stopped. Looked like it might have started to work, but then over the last, so this is a 4-hour chart, over the last several 4-hour periods, we just saw this climb and climb. Had it not been able to get back over this level and kind of pulled back, it would have started to work, obviously, but it didn't. So we got stopped, and that's trading. Looking at FTM, we've been watching this. We had longed it back in this area from about 50 cents up to like 56 cents. Took a nice little long. There was no catalyst, or there was no headwind, I should say, back during this time. But this definitely pulled back. You see Powell's speeches, we listed that here. And we were looking for it to either find support and hold this level here or violate it. It violated it. We didn't take a position here, and it has come back up to retest this area here. So we'll just keep an eye on this. If it continues to consolidate and looks like it wants to get back up towards that 65, basically 65 cents, I would say, and forgive me while I futz with the mouse here. If we get back up and challenge this 65 cents level and blast through it, then we're long. It's plain and simple, and with the appropriate risk management. SHIB, talked about this before, how we watched it blast through this and kind of shook our fists at the sky, thinking, golly, we definitely missed out on this one. But lo and behold, it pulled back. But look, it didn't go lower here. It didn't go lower here. Didn't go lower here. Big upward move. Come back. Didn't go lower here. Didn't go lower. Didn't go. Now, this is pretty strong. Let's just keep an eye. There's some things going on in the Shiba Inu universe that we'll want to pay attention to. And I think zooming out or going back out a little bit here, if we get back over this level right here, then the next stop is in the like 1800, or gosh, I can't even tell. It's like 17,919. So yeah, it basically looks like 18,000, but that's a lot of decimal places to the right. Anyway, the point I was trying to get to is that if this continues to exhibit strength, then we'll look to get long and trying to catch this move up here. I think the risk reward is, I don't know. If it came back down and broke down, I would consider the risk reward to be a little bit better to get long down here, but we'll see. We just got to keep an eye on it. Solana, we're looking for it to roll over. Definitely. I mean, how many times have I done this? I've sold the low, and we're stuck in no man's land here. But we got a nice move up into this other resistance level, but we got stopped on this. Is what it is. We'll look for this to come back and test this area right here at about 24.70, basically 25. And if we can get back up and poke through, zooming back out a little bit, we get back over 25, then we're looking for a move higher. I think that would exhibit enough strength to warrant taking a long position. ApeCoin, we did not take a position in, but looking how it kind of was collecting here and then pulled back, had a bit of a move and then pulled back, and then now is rocketed back up. I mean, we're not talking huge move here, but I mean, that's pretty strong price action. I think it'd be interesting, and it gets up into the 580s to retest this $6 level. We get back out a little bit on this. Basically, if we get a definitive move this way, then there's room to run up to about basically 760. Once we get past this $6 to $6.50 level, we'll see how that goes. Sushi's another one that we were in, I think. Yeah. Oh, no, we're still in this one. Although, oh wait a minute, no, I did. I think I closed this out already. Yeah, this is a pretty strong move. That's gonna, if you're leveraged short here, you're getting liquidated most likely. So definitely took the nick, and we'll move on. And then is this the same chart? Wait a minute. Well, this should be 4 hour. Yeah, this definitely moving up. I mean, and certainly I am not chasing this right now. I want to see it get back up into this level, this range up here, like $1.50, and if it can get back to $1, get back up and to resettle up in this range, then let's look for it to move higher. Another one that we've been watching was near. Definitely kind of a head fake up here. Pulled back. Interesting to see it come back, test this lower blue line of the wedge that was forming. Pull back a little bit and then blast through here. We're kind of in the middle here, so no position at this time. So that's near NEAR. Render, interesting. This chopped a little bit, broke out, but pulled way back, collected at an interesting and quite clear level of support, and has been inching its way back up. Didn't take a position short here because it didn't break down. I was looking for it to break down below this level right here. There's another line that I was looking for this to fail before today's price action, or yesterday in today's price action, but you can see if this had broken down, then we might have come back down to retest the 80 to 90 cent level, but that is not the case. Looks like we are setting up to go higher, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have a trouble longing this at like $1.92 to $2, looking for it to challenge this 270, 280 level on the we'll go back out higher time frame. Yeah, so this is the next major level of resistance that I see, and this is a pretty strong price action. If this continues to consolidate and form this wedge, then bang, it looks like it might go. We'll see. Remains to be seen, as they say. A couple of others. VRA, this is, man, while all the others were, not all of them, but some of them we were looking at were going sideways a little bit. And forgive me, I am still a noob at streaming. If anybody's in the chat, which doesn't seem there is, okay, good. Had someone yesterday, I felt terrible. They were asking a question, and it took me like 5 minutes or more maybe to see it. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at here, we have this pretty strong price action. I would hesitate to be short unless it came back down and violated some of these other levels down here. If it pulled back and collected here and then broke down, I would be looking to sell it once it broke down further. What else do we have? The graph, interesting. Kind of back here on the 4th of Feb, took off, ran away, and just ran and got all the way up to like 23 cents from 10 cents. So basically 100% move in terms of price appreciation. Came back, tested this, basically 15 cents, 14 to 15, and kind of chopped around a little bit. But this is a pretty strong move. I would be interested if it came back down and retested this 10-cent level to get long, or getting on a daily time frame if it blasts through this. I'm sorry, forgive me. If we get back up, basically up above this 25-cent level, to see it rip up to 30 to 35 cents and get back into this area of contention over a relatively long period of time, if you ask me, my opinion. So anyway, that's what else we got? AGI, same. This one's pretty this one pulled back, but it basically pulled back about halfway of this move. So we had this move up, came back about halfway, and now it's consolidating a little bit. Litecoin, this looked like it got rejected. This is a daily chart, like a pretty stiff resistance here. It got rejected once, rejected twice, but got some pretty decent support, which matches up with this here, and then is now back at the previous level. I think this is setting up to move higher. Dollar index looking like it bounced off the 101 level and has been consolidating over several days and might be setting up to move higher. Interesting that the NASDAQ, there was looking at this trend line, this definitely is, there's this guy that I used to read, I used to work this fund where I was the research nerd and had to basically take all of the research and summarize it so the big boss didn't have to read it all himself. Good for him, good for me. I learned a lot. But this type of price action would have been like this breakout and retest and then move would have been a signal to get long. So if you were long the NASDAQ, you're still probably in this trade. Another one that's on the radar is Synapse, SYN. Interesting that it, this hasn't been trading for very long, but we got up to this $4 level, got rejected a couple times, 1, 2, 3 times, pulled way back to basically 50 cents. Kind of chopped around here, had a move, and then it's just like right about this, right before the $2 level is when the momentum gave out. And it's done this 1, 2, 3 times now. Came back down. Really interesting that the same 50-cent level was support again, because the risk reward's a lot better here if you're really like going for it. Moved above, came back, moved above, and now I think once we see it get back to this level, if we break out of here and get back up to this $1.90 to $2. Look for people that are like major short to like be getting out, and we'll see what this goes. I would imagine if we get a strong move above $2, it's basically like air on, not quite air, but I think a move to 3 would be realistic given this price action here and where people are looking at the chart. Hey, this is not trading advice. This is just me looking at some lines on the screen. I threw Filecoin up on here to start drawing some levels and looking where I think it might go. So I don't have a lot to say about it right now. And then another, we threw, the idea that we were back at a resistance level. We tried to sell Matic here, but definitely took this one off because the price action is setting up, and it was better to take half an hour loss and just kind of collect ourselves and think about like where we think this is going, or where we think this could go, where we think this could go, I should say. But hey, you always got to be swinging the bat and positioning. So we were positioning on the odds that something terrible came across the wire and sent everything tumbling. But thankfully, our risk management kept us in the game, and we're watching. I mean, Bitcoin here. This is a pretty big move today. I mean, golly. Anyway, that's what we've got today. Some technical difficulties, a lot of strength. It looks like, especially in Bitcoin. Josh is going to be joining us tomorrow, and we'll get into talking a little more around some things we've talked about in the past. But anyway, I'm going to end this one, and thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one on Thursday the 16th. So have a great night and stay in the game.